Welcome to the late Apex Racing TV's show for everything that's going on in the world of sim racing and the Apex Racing brands as well. I am Sam Fitzpatrick and I have alongside me once again David Sampson, and over the course of the next hour or so we are going to be discussing everything from Asetek's new revolutionary reinvention of sim racing wheels and rims. We've got the return of the IMSA Esports Global Championship on iRacing, stuff about rFactor 2 and EA WRC, and of course everything and all the results from Apex Racing team as well. David, how are you doing?
Very well. Excited to be here again. I could talk about sim racing 24/7, so condensing it into an hour feels harmful.
We'll try our best. Last week was 80 minutes, so I mean, you might be here in 2 hours' time, still listening to us. I'm sure you are hoping for that to be the case. So let's jump straight in and talk about Asetek. These guys, since coming onto the scene fairly recently, it has to be said, have really changed everything when it comes to sim racing, how they do everything. It's quite unique, their style. I think this is maybe the most unique in terms of their sort of reinvention of how rims work, a very modular design, and potentially a very cost-effective way to get a wide range of wheel rims.
Yeah, I think a few companies are going to be looking at this surprised they didn't think of it first. I quite like the way it's handled. So I think we can bring up a video in a bit, but it's basically you're investing in the button box. Is this the best way of thinking about it? You're investing in the button box, and then you buy the rims are very easy to attach on the fly. And we were chatting about this before the show. You know, we do a bit of a research here on the fly there, and we were both surprised, both shocked. I think we can bring it up now. So you can see he's using the Formula rim, but you can see on the right there it is just essentially the central piece, and then you can go about using a Formula rim, a round rim. I always call it the Lamborghini style rim, you know, the wide U shape. We don't know costs or anything like that. Well, I don't know costs of it without the rim. Is it like? Oh, you made notes. Here we go. 279 without the. So if you've got the button box, you know, like you say, that's amazing. Let's face it, sim racing is not a cheap job. We like investing in fancy looking things. I have rims sat around. I bought because I thought I'd use them. I haven't. Imagine just being able to swap, keep my rim attached, all the QR, but just changing the rim. It is a unique idea.
Yes, it's really nice. If I scrub through this, I mean, the unique design is the fact that you got the actual wheel is just basically a button box, and then everything around it is so customizational. It looks very simple to change around as well. You've got the La Prima and the Forte. There is a slight difference between the two of them, with the Forte costing an extra $100, but that is made of carbon fiber. It's got more LEDs and it's got more switches on it as well. And of course they have the 3 ranges. I think they're going to release a third button box as well in the future as well. And well, this is going to be available in November, but also people are going to be able to see it at the Sim Racing Expo as well, going on this week.
Yeah, I had a thought actually. That's what we're here to discuss. Thoughts. It was not really going to help their QR sales, is it?
I guess not. No,
because
they've
now,
just got one. Well, they've got 3 wheels, but yeah, they're not expanding beyond that.
So if you've invested in the quick release, can't be cheap. Then they come up with this system, and you attach the one wheel to rule all wheels, and now all you're doing is changing the out point. What's the QR for?
Well, the good thing with this QR at least is that I believe you can attach different wheels even if it's not an Asetek.
Yeah, it's what's the word? Compatible with cube controls, all of them. Very simple. I did like this idea.
And it's quite a nice one as well. It's very easy to just get off. It looks very satisfying to use. I'm quickly trying to find what the price is, but I'm failing miserably. I might be able to find it eventually. But yeah, you are right in terms of it does minimize the need for a variety of actual rims. Yeah.
But then again, actually, it's their business model. We could say similar to the Fanatec business model idea that the groundwork is an ecosystem. You know, it's idea to make everything compatible, and you buy their whole feature set. Now, if we look at who's the best in the ecosystem on the planet, that's Apple. Now, Apple's philosophy, I remember watching a documentary a while back, was always your biggest competitor is yourself. So the iPad team, for example, were tasked to make something better than the MacBook. While that sounds crazy, it's a good business way to compete with yourself. So yeah, I mean, I can see this competing with their quick release market, but I love the idea. I'm sold because
Yeah.
we always say Fanatec have the cheapest wheels because of the ecosystem driving the prices down. They don't have to make a big markup on the wheels because you buy anything around it. But this is even cheaper. And if I could go for a Formula rim to a round rim to that Lamborghini style for say, let's say what, 1,200 quid for all three, it's impressive.
Yeah, I think it's 119, let's say $120 slash
Wait, really?
euros for each rim, basically.
I said 1,200. You're talking 380.
Well, so to get the original one without the rim, let's say the
Mm-hmm.
La Prima, which is the cheaper one, that's 280, and then you're saying 6 rims, so that's like 700 quid
That's
extra.
impressive.
So yeah, you're talking less than $1,000 for basically 6 different wheels, basically. And yeah, it's pretty good.
And yeah, we got someone in chat. Oh, that's my wife actually pointing out a very good fact that last year this was the place to be. I mean, they
Yeah.
were in the middle. They were the largest. They had music. They had hot lap competitions. They had staff everywhere answering correctly. I mean, most booths it was 2 to 3 people. These people had 6 people surrounding their booth just to bring you in, show you everything. It was very impressive. They're throwing money at it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think their stuff looks great. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. They're investing in end-to-end solution.
Yeah.
So they haven't released a rig yet, I don't think, but
I think that's what they're lacking, isn't it? Certainly got the pedals, they've got the wheelbase, and of course they've got the range as well. I forget, sorry, the other name, but it's the Forte, the La Prima, and then the third kind of set as well. So they've got the high end cost, and
Yeah.
then they got sort of cheaper options as well, which is a nice way of doing it. So I mean, yeah, I mean, Asetek have really been. I don't think anyone was expecting quite the impact that they would have made in the last couple of years, but yeah, they continue to make clever solutions. And like you said right from the start, why has no one else done this? Like, why change the whole wheel when you're just changing the outside of it, pretty much? So yeah, no, it seems very smart.
Yep, very impressive company. So keep an eye on them as they grow. But obviously, they've come into it at the. I'm not going to say the downturn of sim racing, but obviously we've come out of the pandemic rush. They're the newest company on the block that has to do this the hard way, from without getting that rush of customers. But yeah, I think it's great to see.
Yeah, it really is going to be cool to see how they do. And of course, anyone who's at the Sim Racing Expo, I'm sure we'll cover a lot of what happens at the Sim Racing Expo as well in next week's show. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news coming out of that one. Let's have a chat about a new series that is coming up. It is the IMSA Esports Global Championship, one of the top series of names, which I don't think anyone gets right. I forget all of those words, and when I do remember those words, I put them in the wrong order. But it is the IMSA Esports Global Championship. It's the second season of this. I say it's a successful 2022 season because it must have been successful because they brought it back for 2023.
Oh, it was big. I wanted to be a part of it. I tried so hard to get a spot on the grid. Didn't happen, but yeah, this is going to be fantastic. So it's the. Are they going with 2 classes for this, or is it going to be the triple? Are they including the LMP2s?
Just the 2 classes.
Oh, so it's the dream. This is the dream. GTP, GT3, all invite only, I believe.
Yeah, seemingly just invite only. Some big teams on the grids, including ourselves. And when I say ourselves, that's
Me and
not,
Sam, yeah.
it's not me and him. Not yet. That's 2024 when they're going to unleash us. Instead, yeah, but I think I know a few of the ART guys who's taking part, and it is very good. I'm sure rosters will be announced later date. But yeah, no LMP2 or LMP3 class, which was rumoured when those cars, or when the LMP3 was brought in earlier this year. Obviously, LMP3 is at IMSA at the moment. I don't think it is going to be in 2024.
No. It was really only brought in because of the downturn of GTE. They needed cars, and these were cheap and accessible. But no, they're not needed now. With the rise of GTD and GTD AM, it's blown up the grid.
I think this is smart. And of course, last year they had TCR on the grid, weirdly, which no one really appreciated, I think. Of course, they were trying to mix together the Michelin Pilot Challenge
Yeah.
and the Sports Car Championship. They've just gone
No.
all in on the
Yeah,
sports car.
yeah.
They've just gone, you know what? These are the two most popular classes. These are the two classes that people want to see. It's going to produce the best racing. And so it should be much better this year. Of course, first season for the LMDH, or the GTPs, apologies, because it's IMSA, also features 5 GT3s. I believe it will be the first year for the Ferrari, I believe, and first year of the Porsche as well. Or that model of Porsche. And yeah, invite only, Redline, Coanda, Apex taking part. And it's 4 rounds, 2 hours 40, and it's going to pretty much be the last event in the big sim racing calendar. December the 16th, it's going to take us right up to Christmas.
And the tracks, we already mentioned on the ARL League, Road Atlanta, big hit.
Tracks.
That's
Really
in
good
this.
tracks.
Watkins Glen this week, Hypertrack. Sebring, pound for pound, one of the best IMSA tracks there's going to be. And then to round out the 4X at Daytona. Rounding out a Daytona, that's what does it. It has to be a night race, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, they had Laguna on it last year. There was a few
We all make
decisions
mistakes.
with last year's where we were like, what? Why is that? This year, I think they've nailed it. I think they've maybe taken a little bit of more advice from experienced iRacers rather than just people who aren't maybe aware of how sim racing works. And I think they've made this series going to be a lot better. One of the things that I'm curious about, are there going to be safety cars? When they used safety cars last year, it didn't really work very well because iRacing is not designed for safety cars with monster cars. So you need a team of 150 IQ stewards to figure out exactly what's going on. Tell people to pit here
Yeah,
and
don't
there.
pit. Or I'm out of fuel. I need
Yeah.
to come in. Okay, well, you pit and then we'll run it again and let
Yeah.
people through. And then the iRacing system doesn't let you do it. So it's not even the stewards. Sometimes they're just bound by these idiosyncrasies. Is that the word? Anyway.
I thought you were going to say idiot drivers there. Which I think would
Well,
maybe be
we'll
more
see how the
accurate.
race goes. Yeah, I mean, the safety car system is for ovals, and they've just dragged it into road, and we sometimes patch it and make it work. I would rather they just handle it on the radio, telling drivers, okay, come down to speed, but then we just eat into the race clock. So, yeah, we'll see. I understand they need it to be a full-featured event, and the safety car's there to handle something that goes tragically wrong. But no, I'm really excited. So it's November 5th to December 16th, Watkins Glen, Sebring, Road Atlanta, and then rounding out at Daytona, as we've got a video for you.
Yeah, this is just some of the images that they did. I quite like this one because it kind of meshes together some of the in-sim footage with the real-life footage as well.
They're really flexing on the LMDA because they have the full GTP lineup, which is impressive.
I was a little bit disappointed by what's going on here.
Oh,
Where are we?
wait, so even X, so Owen's on there.
Yeah. But they do mention us later on. Here we are, and one of the commentary comments is, and Apex wins again, 4 races in a row, I think they say. So
Our
we
check
did
must not
do
have
really
cleared.
well. That was the peak of the Sanchez Kevin Ellis partnership last year, which was winning everything from about September onwards last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the calendar as well. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. There's our faces.
Yeah, they won both 2 of the classes last season. What was it? How did it end with for Apex? Remind me.
I want to say first and second in GT3.
Right.
I don't think we won TCR. I think we may have been like third in TCR.
Okay. I remember it being a good result for the boys.
It was very good, and I think
It's
Kevin
so good we got
Sanchez
excluded
dominated.
from the team logos.
Yeah.
Thanks, Iris.
Yeah. Look forward to it. Rain, maybe for the last round. That'll be good.
We say this for it's going to be for Nordschleife, it's going to be for Daytona, it's going to be for Road Petit Le Mans. It's just not coming.
We had to mention it at some point.
Every
I don't think we
episode.
mentioned it in the last episode.
Well, of course we
somehow.
did. Of course
We
did.
probably did.
Compared it to something that's far
Yeah,
off.
probably. Yeah, so that's some of the big news on iRacing when it comes to rFactor 2. The beta competition servers are up now, and there's been a few issues with it in terms of it seems like maybe more people have joined than what was anticipated.
If we take it on face value, they're selling this as we are so busy, everything's gone wrong because there's tens of millions of people trying to use it at the same time. Or it went down and they're using popularity as an issue. I don't know. So the statement from them was that they hit that AWS limit, which is an interesting phrase because obviously AWS supports scalability, both horizontally and vertically. You don't have to understand what that means, but vertically means the server you're on can grow, or horizontally means you can take this server and distribute it out to more servers. AWS has always supported that. But basically, they've had some teething issues, but they've handled it publicly. They've announced, so they told people that they hit their AWS limit, so they're going to increase it and restart the service. They had some needing issues midweek with needing to reboot here and there to get everything working. But on the whole, they've been public about it. It seems to have been well received. The people I've seen, because obviously we've had some streamers, none of the big streamers, I would say. None of the big streamers I've say cover it yet. But the content I have seen has been fun. I was setting up rFactor this morning, tweaking all the settings just to make sure I'm ready to go if I want to jump in. I've always liked rFactor. It will always have a special place in my heart. I hope it has a special place in most people's hearts because it has been around forever and it has had rain for longer than I can remember. It had rain before I knew what iracing was. That's how long ago it had rain. And it drives great. It looks good. It looks very consistent, to be honest. It just needs people, and they've never had a reason. LFM wasn't the biggest hit for rFactor. That seems to be reserved for the ACC. It grew so rapidly with ACC that I don't know. It just doesn't seem the perfect fit for rFactor. So I'm hoping this works. We need competition, not just on rFactor. Against iRacing. Of course we do. We all love iRacing, but they can't get away with not just being the leaders, but having no competition. It doesn't push for development. They're not having emergency meetings how they can grow and grab users and run discounts and get content and get Aston Martin. Where's the Aston Martin GT3? You know?
Yeah.
If we had competition, the phone call would have happened.
So speaking of discounts, I've just remembered I should have probably done this earlier on. Check out apexracingac.com to get yourself a 3-month free using the code LATEAPEX. That is LATEAPEX. I'm sure you can all spell, but I don't know. I was listening to it back to last week's because I love the sound of my own voice, and it works as an audio medium. This podcast, which is good, but right now that we are having a banner on, and I do recommend watching it on YouTube if you can, because we do sometimes show videos. But yeah, it's pretty good. Use that code either way. LATEAPEX at apexracingac.com.
And obviously subscribe to the iTunes podcast, which I grabbed my app. I was like, oh, I wonder if we're on there. Searched it. There we are, episode 1. We're on iTunes, mate. We've made it.
The Late Apex. If you search The Late Apex on iTunes or Spotify, then you'll find us and you can subscribe.
Wait, well, I'm on Spotify.
And now on Spotify.
Bam.
Next up, EA WRC. There's been quite a lot of hype about this game, actually. People seemingly are quite positive about it, but there's been a little bit of a scupper when it comes to it, because unfortunately, so this isn't coming out for a couple more weeks yet. I think even 3 weeks. It's in
we'll
November.
probably cover it in full on a future episode.
Sure. But some of the early access people have streamed part of the game, and it seems like some of it, unfortunately, is behind an EA Play paywall type thing. At the moment, it's just 2 time attacks. But I think what people are concerned about is that it starts off at 2 time attacks, but is this going to grow like a cancer through the game?
Yeah. So I saw on Reddit they did so. I noticed this on Reddit when someone was like, wait, some of the moments are actually behind, and I think it's called EA Play subscribers, so people that pay monthly for the EA games, etc.
It's about 120 quid a year, I believe.
Now, their statement coming against this Reddit was like, in our defense, it's only a few moments. I think moments is like these. I haven't played it. I've barely watched the videos, I have to admit, unfortunately. That's why we're not going to cover it for a couple of weeks. Yeah, like small time attack modes. And they're saying it's only a few. We shouldn't be worried, and majority of content will not. But they just couldn't resist. You imagine the game went through development, everything, and then they had a high-level meeting. Some manager who's looking at the bottom line said, we should. Who is going to think, oh, there's 2 time attacks I haven't done. I should go out of my way and spend, was it 100 and something for the year
Yeah, $120 maybe. I might be wrong on
to
that.
do a time
120 quid.
attack?
Yeah.
Uh, I,
I think that's the problem as well. I think you've hit on it perfectly there in terms of like this game isn't necessarily going to be used by gamers overall. It's quite a niche game. Like it's not a case of like I don't know, something else that EA do, like Battlefield or something,
Yeah.
where like you know, casual gamers who probably already have a subscription are going to get it. Instead, people who are maybe into just 1 or 2 games who don't feel the need to subscribe to EA Play will have it, and it's like, I can't get the full game. That's a bit annoying. Maybe if there was like an alternative or something, like and they paid 20 quid for the whole game, even that feels a little bit a little bit frustrating. But yeah, of course, I was just checking when Codemasters got the license. Codemasters, of course, bought by EA a few years ago, and they got the license in 2020 to start games in 2023. So this is the first game from Codemasters, and so that's why people are annoyed as well. Like this isn't just this is like the first game, and they're probably going to try to appease people, you would think, and so it's probably only going to get worse from here. That's the mindset of fans of the franchise.
I don't know. If you had to come out in front of it to explain yourself, just apologize, admit you was wrong, and remove the paywall.
Mm.
Don't tell us it's only a small subsection, because it still doesn't make sense. The point's still true. It sours the game. There's a lot of people out there. I know a lot of people there who just like the idea of completion. Yep, completing everything. Whether it's be the fastest or collect all the golds or whatever it is, be the fastest on all the time attacks and not having access to them all because of you're a kid and your mum or dad bought you this game and now you're going to them and asking for a subscription that you may never use just to do a time attack. It annoys me. And EA have always had this reputation of they can't focus on the project. They have to money grab.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they're a very successful game developer, aren't they? I mean, they're not in it to make
True.
friends. They're
True.
in it to make money.
True. All right, you win.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
It
I think
is.
people were a bit concerned, but it was looking good. And now we'll see. Maybe the rest of the game will more than make up for it. That's what I think everyone is hoping for.
We'll know soon.
There is a new Fanatec Clubsport direct drive wheel available. And it's sort of been the announcement of this, and we'll share the website and we can maybe scroll through this. Because there's some pretty big words being used by them.
Big words, yes.
And there it is.
I'm not sure if we would have covered this story if just the DD dropped. I think it's more the marketing.
Because it's quite dull. I mean, it's $700. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
what you'd expect, you know, nothing.
Correct,
spectacular.
nothing groundbreaking on the price.
20 Newton meters.
12.
12 Newton meters.
Yep.
Sorry, we'll get into the 20 Newton meters later on, but yeah, 12 Newton meters.
I mean, I like this design, like the small package that doesn't seem to get hot with the QR. I think it's their new QR2 integrated in the front. So I've got nothing against this design. It seems to be working on the Gran Turismo. What's it called? The one that, anyway, it doesn't matter. But the one this design was pioneered by their Gran Turismo partnership, and since they've stuck with it, it does seem to be fully functional. Right, let's get into the wording.
Direct drive the right way.
Yeah, so it's already a sly dig of what's to come. I love this smooth operator. They may have to pay Carlos Sainz for that, but I love that.
Who sung the original song?
I have no idea.
Let's find out, people. Smooth operator. Song.
We're watching
Sadie.
Google. Let's go. Sadie.
Sadie, there you go.
Bam.
I wanted people to see that. I wanted people to see that. Smooth operator. By splitting the rotor into offset segments, cogging torque is naturally reduced. Combined with our patented flux barrier technology, which increases efficiency and smoothness, the result is crystal clear force feedback information in every driving situation.
So that wording's fine. I like that they're just overselling the flux capacitor. Sorry, flux barrier. Consistent torque lapping to that. So now we're starting to get into the subject we're going to be discussing. Engineered to meet strict cooling requirements, the Clubsport DD is the most thermally stable wheelbase in its class. So you can have absolute confidence that the torque, so I'm reading this from 7 foot away, that the torque output and force feedback will remain consistent no matter how long you drive. So now we're getting into the subject. Here we go with their. This is why we brought up the subject. Genuine torque Many mass market direct drive systems fail to hold their claimed torque figures, gradually derating. I've never heard that word. Basically reducing the motor performance over time to avoid overheating. So what they're saying is all the settings you set, whether it's 15 Newton meter, you set it up in iRacing or your sim of choice, and you set it up in the Fanatec software. I'm not going to pretend to know the name, Fanalab, whatever it's called. What they're saying is other providers, they haven't named anyone, they've just given us these graphs that we'll get into in a moment, that they thermally throttle a CPU. Over time, 2 hours, well, they list the time there, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that they reduce the torque because they don't want to hit overheating and it turn off, and then you're never going to use this thing again. So yeah, you can see their comparison there. They're claiming one of the wheelbases shut off after 35 minutes. I don't know about that. I don't know what wheelbase they've found that running, what is that, 11 Newton meters. So sorry, they're claiming this running at full beam. So what they're saying is like not running it at half, running this thing at 100% while using it in, what is this? They say endurance, but they're limiting it to an hour. Interesting. They're saying one of the wheelbases turned off after 33 minutes. One of them quite clearly shows after, what's that, about 15 minutes, it starts reducing
Yep.
to the point where you're running at like 4 Newton meters. Again, I
something like
think you'd notice if you was running at 4 Newton meters. It's an interesting claim. But no, if we scroll down a little bit further, we have also the other claim of
lightning fast acceleration. Basically, it's like super accurate and like I think precision response. This was a class-leading slew rate performance combined with powerful processor makes every reaction incredibly fast and dynamic, whilst remaining perfectly stable. This behavior lends itself to traditional force feedback signals as well as enhanced full force signals. And of course, if Fanatec wants to call me up to do their advertisement speakings,
we've got them on hold.
Voiceovers, do let me know because I think I've nailed that. And again, there's another graph. Honestly, I'm not sure what it's telling me.
Reaction time. So we
Sure.
can see they're claiming that their wheel is 2 milliseconds. It got all the way to, I don't know what that is, like 16 Newton meter. Interesting on a 12 Newton meter wheel, might add.
Yeah, it seems to settle out about 12 eventually, but I guess it can go beyond
Yeah.
that.
But they're showing that, I mean, whatever that red one is, they're saying it's 3 times as slow to sort of react. Now, this, I agree. I do agree with Fanatec in one sense, not with their graph or their claims, because they'll need testing. But remember the days where we used to test cameras by their megapixels? And then one day it was just taught to us that that's dumb. It has nothing to do with quality. How many pixels it had became a realization of, oh, okay, so we actually do, it matters more about the lens and the quality. This is that. We never talk about slew rate, like the reaction, how quickly it can react, which is important. Like if you've got a 15, 20, 22 Newton meter wheel, we want them Newton meters as quick as possible. Not all direct drives are made equal. So they're claiming not only will it not get hot, that they're claiming it reacts the quickest. Now, we don't know who they're testing against. For all we know, it could be the DD1, the DD2, and then we're comparing against all their own products. But let's see, they do say other brands, so I suppose they're saying.
Solid as a rock, unbelievable power in a compact package. So apparently it's the strongest motor shaft yet, made of aluminium. And also features their QR2, as you were saying earlier on, their quick release 2. So, yes. And yeah, do make sure to check out if you're interested in that. I mean, I think it does demonstrate that. I think because this is such a crowded market now in recent years. Even, Logitech released their own direct drive last year, didn't they?
No comment.
That's a lot more expensive than this. And with a lot less power as well, I think, brands are having to justify why they should, why you had to buy this motor, like a few years ago, they could just go, yeah, we've got a motor, you like our brands, buy it.
Yep, it worked.
Whereas
We're talking about it.
They've got to actually justify why this is better than the competition. So I guess it's just a result of that.
Yeah, I agree that we do need to start upping our testing. The amount of Newton meters, like talking about megapixels, isn't the metric, because we were talking about this earlier. Not many. 12 is actually what I would class like the Goldilocks region. That is good. Any lower, I mean, I could probably handle 10, but I wouldn't really want to be discussing sub 10 just from my personal experience. But above 15, it's not a waste because we're not saying brands that offer 20 and 25 are wasting it. It's more just overhead accessibility and keeping the price down. If you happen to get able to get your hands on a well-priced 20 Newton meter motor, then there's no problems using it and running it at 12. Now, obviously, when we say about the minimum we go, the reason I talk about 8 and 10 is because running, as Fanatec did show, running direct drives at their limit is when you run into the overheating issues. One experience I had with we discussed this earlier, with my Leo Bodner wheel, this was maybe 2 years ago. It got so hot, it heated up my entire rig. And no, don't underestimate what I mean by entire. I mean all the pieces of metal. I didn't notice till I caught my hand on one part of the rig when I was getting out, and I thought, oh, that's hot. And then my brain twigged, wait, rigs don't get hot. What? Then I started feeling it out, and the sides of the wheel, left and right, the metal plates, you could have cooked an egg. If I'd have Fanatec'd it and gone flat, I could have baked an egg. I had to turn the whole Leo Bodden off while I wasn't driving, and a teammate was driving, cycle it down, then power it up later. It still got hot, but I didn't use it after that.
Yeah, it's important to have that thermal efficiency, which certainly Fanatec claim to have perfected more than anyone else. So we'll see what it's like, and I'm sure we'll get some reviews of it. You can already pre-order it. It is fully available. It was saying on the website 7th of open for pre-orders now, I believe, and it will be made available on the 7th of November. So very good Christmas present, I would say, for anyone in the market for a new direct drive wheel. Next up, Ian Bell, who is a controversial man, sorts of. Ian has, of course, been the man behind Project Cars, Need for Speed, Test Drive, GTR, and GT Legends. I remember talking a year ago on the late Apex about how we're going to have GTR Revival. That should be coming out probably not next year, but I think 2025 is the aim. Ian is very good at promoting his games because he just leaves little, just subtly, he's like, oh yeah, we got this feature on the game, and he just posts it on his Twitter, and it gets a decent amount of traction from it. This was one of the posts that he
today,
made.
I believe. It's further down. I think there's a pinned. I don't know. He's been posting since.
Hang on, we did see this earlier on. I'm absolutely messing it up. My bad.
It's a picture of a Ferrari, 100%.
There was pictures of hang on, is that it?
No, it was a lone Ferrari.
Well, I mean, Ian has absolutely. I mean, this is why people aren't 100% on the guy, because he's absolutely fooled us here.
Hold on, I can send you the picture.
There you go.
1 second.
There you go. Here we are, all red-faced after trying to load that up. By the way, for people listening, we just tried to show you basically an image of what's going on in the game for GTR Revival. There has been an image of a Ferrari released, and yes, we should be able to show it fairly soon.
But yeah, he is controversial. He has made some claims in the past, but let's not forget, like, Test Drive was brilliant. Like, I absolutely loved. Wait, that didn't work, did it? I absolutely loved.
I've got it now.
Oh, okay, cool. Absolutely loved that game. He's been involved in games that have got great physics, great looks. This new one, there you go. Very photorealistic. Now, this may very well be running in settings that are unthinkable to run on console or your PC. On that mention, I would like to mention, with the iRacing fans out there, he makes on his Twitter page, when you're scrolling, maybe you caught an eye on it, he is always mentioning and praising the iRacing system and, you know, the accessibility to race, the hourly racing, but he does make a point on bringing it to console. So he's trying to bring the iRacing offering to both PC and all the consoles. I love the idea. The cars he's working on, both legacy GT cars and the newest ones. Obviously, he wouldn't show a Ferrari, the brand new Ferrari, without some sort of license. He's not, he's a smart guy, so he's cooking. He's using the Unreal engine, which has been positive for Rensport and ACC. I mean, it does seem to be it does seem to get you far quickly, but then the next barrier, say for triple screens and everything, does seem to be a bit more tricky. But look, I'm a sucker for the hype on new sims, so I'm excited for GT Revival, just like I'm excited for the Le Mans Ultimate. I'm hoping ACC gets sorted. I'm hoping Rensport keeps the momentum.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I'm trying to find, I'm previously looking for the rain footage. Unfortunately, I don't think it's on. I've just found Credence Clearwater Revival instead, accidentally. And yeah, I'm trying to find the clip of the rain. It's a really smart rain system, basically. They've already got rain, and the car hasn't been, and the game hasn't been raced. So, like, basically, what I'm saying is that, like, it looks like a real advanced game, and yeah, we shouldn't underestimate it. I think it's going to be quite a big thing, and I mean, yeah, he's got a good roster. As Ian Bell, there's people from the Project Cars team, from the GTR team
Yep.
being involved. So yeah, it should be a good one, I imagine.
Yeah, we're not underestimating the hurdles. He's yet to come, and the server issues and the teething problems, and obviously it's a catch-22. You can develop the iRacing hourly racing system all you want, but if without the people, the races are dead. And if the races are dead, no one joins them. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg issue at the beginning. But yeah, good luck to him. Like I said, competition's always a good thing.
Apologies that we haven't been replying to a couple of the people in chat, but thanks everyone for tuning in. This is the live chat. If you're listening back, this show goes out at 10 o'clock on Friday evening, so you do be around to be part of the discussion. Mark Custers saying earlier on from the IMSA discussion, if they do safety cars, they need to be manually driven. I agree with that one.
That would be awesome.
And some leagues do that. I think whatever DGFX is called now, do me. I will remember that. It's a very big endurance league. Apologies that I've forgotten that one. But yeah, they do that one manually. However, you still sort of got the same issues where you're still coordinating everyone to come into the pits at the right time and closing the pit lane and penalising people. But I agree, that's probably the best way to do it, honestly. I don't see what I was saying, coming early 2026.
That's rain.
Rain. Well done on Daniel. But, I wasn't sure what relation that was, but no, you picked that one.
Never experienced the DD with the overheating. Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, Mark Custer saying the only overheating he's experienced is Fanatec. So maybe they fix that. And maybe you were right earlier on, maybe they're comparing their own wheels to themselves. Endurance in GT7 is 12 laps.
I think he was comparing the hour.
Yeah, an hour long. I agree with that. I got really annoyed with Gran Turismo 6, where I think the final challenge, the big challenge, is 24 minutes of Le Mans. I mean, come on.
24 minutes of
Gran Turismo 5, I've talked about this last week. I grinded out that game. 24 hours of Le Mans, 24 hours of Nürburgring,
Oh, yeah.
4 hours of Tsukuba, 4 hours of Laguna, like such long races, and then you get to the last race on GT6 on your second day of playing it, 24 minutes. Very annoyed with that one. And Dane, so I was saying another reason more new to meter is better is that running at the same strength on more force clips less.
So yeah, if you need to run the full 12, I know Fanatec are making the claim they can keep balanced temperatures, but they can't. They will clip. Like if you hit the 12, you clip. Whereas having the like I mentioned earlier, the overhead, that is a nice thing. That's why I said the minimum I would go is 12. Would I want to run 12? I don't know. I've never tried. Would I run on 8 or 5 or anything? And sorry, while we've talked about the whole ecosystem and the Fanatec thing and the annoyance thing, I want one more dig, one free dig. When Fanatec released the 5 Newton meter wheel that you could buy a plug for that went to 8. Now, it meant they could sell the marketing price as low. Our DD starts at, but you could buy a plug that makes it go 8.
Yeah.
That annoys me. It annoys me like the Porsche Boxster. Is it that car? Imagine being the designers, right? Porsche are known for building the best cars they can build. That's the job of the designers, the engineers. They've been improving their design forever. So what was the mission on the Boxster? They told their same designers, make this car worse. How worse? We want it for this price. Like, so that's the legacy of the Porsche Boxster. So I can't see that car in any other light, unfortunately.
Was it like a Cayman that they were trying to make it worse then?
Yeah, they had to. That's right. They had to make it certain 0 to 60, a certain top speed. It couldn't exceed. And again, so the legacy of the Porsche 911 is, you know, comfort, speed, performance, and safety. The poor Boxster was, yeah, here's the price. Can't be better than these things. So just make it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just awful for yeah, yeah, awful for everyone.
Yes.
Um, First shots of the Eureka LMP2 is on Le Mans Ultimate, still scheduled. I was actually checking this. It's for a 2023 quarter 4 release, so it's not actually a month, even though it's sort of December. It's certainly not October. Well, might be October. Maybe it'll be released tomorrow. I don't know, but it's unlikely. Still haven't actually got a release date on this, but it should be available in the next couple of weeks.
This is
And
the
we
car.
have got some info.
This is the car we never got in iRacing, right? This is the car we should have. We've got the wrong LMP2 in iRacing. Am I right?
Mm.
Saying
Well,
that?
this is the only car that was in Le Mans 24 this
Yeah.
year. Only LMP2 that was in it.
Yeah. I am excited for this game. I know everyone says I'm wrong. I will be wrong. I don't care. I'm excited. We can do the WEC season and it finishes out the Le Mans. Now, I hope they let anyone do the virtual Le Mans. Now, I know their servers couldn't handle the one race on the one server, and I'm asking for unlimited servers with unlimited scalability and the top broad squad race work. But I'm hopeful. I'm hoping they let us all compete in the WEC season, and then I agree it'll still be invite only for top speed. I'm not saying the people that do the best or if you qualify through the championship. I doubt they're going to do it. They want their Max Verstappens, their Baldwins, their whoever's going to be doing it from Apex. I hope Apex are doing it. But yeah, I'm hoping we all get to compete at the virtual Le Mans. But I don't know if I don't know if they can. They need to get the one server right. So maybe this year they'll do the one, and next year they'll look to.
Yeah, I really doubt they're going to be making multiple splits for this year's race or early next year's race, I guess. I think it will be invite only, and they'll just be praying that it goes well. Because if it goes well, man, the clout that they will have
Yes.
will be monumental because they're a really good like broadcasted event, and like I imagine they probably make their money back, maybe even make money because the entry fee is so high. But like people want to take part in it, so it's like absolutely fair enough that the entry fee is that high. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good because it's basically similarly rFactor but a bit refined in these certain areas, and yeah, it's got rain, and I think people are sleeping on this a lot.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
it will be very good. And I know that Motorsport Games gets a lot of dislike, and obviously we were, partially criticising them last week. But
Mhm.
obviously Motorsport Games just own different studios, and Studio 397, on the most part, have produced very good work over the last 15 years.
Yeah. They're class leading. I know iRacing took over many years ago, but rFactor never changed. They didn't get worse. Yes, they just couldn't handle the virtual Le Mans thing, and their servers aren't the best. The way driver changes aren't the best. But I was talking to. No, I'm not going to tell drivers and favourite sims. I'm not jumping a minute on live streams, but a few drivers have mentioned that if they're just lapping and doing laps, rFactor 2 is their favourite.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand why. It does for the driving experience has the complete package. So I was driving it this morning, and I was smiling. I came from rFactor 2 to iRacing. Now, yes, I stayed, but I stayed for the hourly online competitive, and that one number that rules your life is iRacing.
Yep.
rFactor never had that. Now they've added it now. I mean, they did miss the bus by 10 years. Yeah, so more on them. But yeah, so I am very excited. I love multi-class. I cannot wait to drive the Peugeot LMD and the Ferrari. Just think, driving the Peugeot, you do not have to worry about losing your rear wing. Someone hits you from behind, you have a bent. I wasn't using it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Joke's on you, mate.
Yeah.
Look what's happened to your splitzer.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
fine,
better than
mate.
I ever was. Also, more news. This isn't sim racing specific, but the Samsung 59-inch Odyssey
7.
Neo. What did I say? 59?
You did.
Okay, I'm clearly thinking of the 49 inches that we already
Yes.
have.
Yeah.
57-inch Odyssey Neo. Here it is. If it even fits on my screen, because it is ever so large. There it is. This thing is, apologies, it came up on my laptop and I forgot I had to press buttons. This thing runs at the same resolution as what our screens behind us do. I think it's 7680, I believe.
Yeah, 7680 by 2160.
Yeah.
So you pixel counters out there, I don't know if you've already done the math, but it is 5 million pixels more than triple 2K.
Mm.
Now, I know you're all running scared, but remember it doesn't have to handle triple projection, i.e. the picture doesn't have to be stitched together in real time 240 times a second, although iracing never gives us 240. But remember, when you have triple screens, there is some stitching involved to handle how curves how they're calculated. But yeah, as you just hovered over there, this is the equivalent of 2 4K panels in pixels. So it is a lot. I think it was nigh on 16 million. I think triple 1080p, don't quote me, is about 7 or 5 to 7 million. Triple 2K is about 10, 11 million. And then this one panel, nearly 16 million pixels. It is mini LED quantum, so your black levels are going to be nigh on black. Contrast ratio, I imagine. I don't see it quoted anywhere, but I bet my bottom dollar it's close to 1,000,000 to 1. HDR 1000. I know I keep saying this, but I'm excited for this. Can I afford it? We'll have to see how this series goes, but it's 2,100.
Or just £61 a month for 3 years. 3 years. I mean, we might not be alive in 3 years, so go for it.
But no, on a serious note, I love the 49. And if you only have a 49, if you only have experience of 49, you do not need to go up to triples. If you ever run triples for a sustained amount of time and try and go to a 49, it can be tricky because while you don't see more, learn more, or experience, you are missing the, what can I say, immersion and sense of speed. You don't have panels to the left and right of you. This, while still not that, it's so close. I mean, I was running some quick estimates. On the, hold on, let's just go back to the screen.
Oh, so, yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. I was running some, I need to learn the system quicker so I can do it.
Oh, dear me.
It's all good. I was doing some quick estimates. If you can get the screens about 19.5 inches from your eye, that's what I run now, I think, with my 32s. Don't quote me, but I think the FOV is about like 156, 150. I mean, you're almost at 180. It's not 180, but peripheral vision isn't 180. People might say that. But I don't know if you've ever seen, there was this quick sidetrack, a dating experiment where you had to stare at this camera thing on the screen. So it'd make sure you're looking at this dot. And then the person would stand at complete 180 and you would have to say if you'd date them or not.
Yes.
Honestly, it was old people, different genders. People thought they could see.
So a whole show was made out?
No, this was like a mini experiment, like a social experiment.
Okay, sure.
At 180 FO, this side on. But you do get a sense of speed from the 180. I do agree, because you sense the motion on your left and your right. But I think it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you could go from. I have triple 32s, but most of it's wasted because it's behind me. So this goes toe to toe with triple 27s, toe to toe. Especially because I'm going to say, go out there. Most people don't run even 180 at 27s because they've just got them. They usually have it. The average user has it behind their base. You have their wheelbase, then the mic's behind the base, and they lose out a bit. So now we just need to hope other manufacturers come on board and we can bring the price down because, we can't discuss 2,100 as being well, 2,199 and probably 99 pence. So 2,200 as something viable.
You could make yourself a very good sim rig.
Plus that many pixels, I'm saying it, under a 3070, you're going to struggle. Well, 3080. Under a 3080, you're going to struggle.
Yeah. It's going to be taxing. Also, it's out of stock at the moment, so.
I was just about to order it.
By the way, a few more comments in chats. James Suso saying the Eureka is better and P2, but Dallara as a brand is better. I agree, Dallara is a very cool brand. I think they still make Haas's F1 cars. So they just do that. And so many other things as well. Still make the F2 cars as well. You can very much see what motorsport I'm invested in. And yeah, loads of other things. Dilara are a very cool brand, so I do agree with that with Daniel.
Sim racing wise, I just wish they made it more curved. That's just a shipping problem. I don't think it's a techno. I bet they can easily, probably at no extra cost. But this thing that would, I don't know if anyone's seen
How long is it in the desk? Is it all the way across from us? Is it
Yeah,
from like here to
the box would be probably as long as this desk.
yeah.
Easy, and it would already at the curve we're running the 1000R. It's what 2 foot high the box.
Mm.
So this thing in shipping alone, 57. Yeah, that's. I've seen 49s. It's you need a crane to get in your rig, or you crawl under your monitors and
You
climbing.
need like an ejector seat,
Yeah.
like a Butson, which like hope you don't have a ceiling, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
parachute,
yeah.
and then other ways, you know, get on a water side or something, and yeah, get in.
Are they pushing the resolution all down one cable? Yeah, I think DisplayPort 2. I've lost track. 2.1 or whatever can handle that many pixels, but how they're achieving it at 240 hertz, I don't know. Maybe it is 2 cables. I haven't looked at it. How are they almost 180? It's basically 232 inches side by side. Is that right? 232 side by side? I haven't done the math myself, but remember 1000R is the most curvy. It's actually quite surprising when you see a 1000R up close, because what we mostly run in the 1800.
Or is it downstairs?
The 1000, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it is quite surprising when you're up close how curved these damn things are. And then 19 inches from your eye, which is not far at all. You are you're within the curve, almost within the curved radius. Yeah. So these 1000, it would probably come to about here on your eye, which no, not
Sure.
180, but we're getting close. Yeah. Remember, the length of the 1000R carries quite some width. If I had spare change, I'd buy this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying it. I would. I would.
Yeah, it's pretty mega. It's cool the equipment we have these days, and if you showed someone this 20 years ago, with all the stuff that we got, back when I was but a wee child, they'd be mind blown. So yeah, we should appreciate stuff like
Mate,
this.
I had a chat with my hairdresser recently. He asked, "What do I do?"
Was
well-
is he like a time travel from 20 years ago?
No,
I'm hoping.
but basically because he had no experience of technology, and now I tell him that there's a job out there where I drive pretend race cars in a bedroom converted to stream this on the internet, and his eyes was just like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, basically, imagine playing a video game but spending 20 grand on it."
Imagine doing a virtual haircut and
Yeah.
getting paid to do it.
Yeah. Exactly. But it felt like a time travel because he barely understood internet, and I'm talking about
Sure, yeah.
virtual race cars.
Yeah.
I think he was worried for me.
Yeah, oh dear, this man is in a completely deluded world. Danny Lee saying, who's drinking Monster at 11 p.m. and getting away with it? Come on, Danny. How are we meant to get through this? It's late, all right? Like, we're not in Europe or anything, but he's got himself a Monster. I've got myself a BAM.
We've been here. Well, Sam's been here. Well, how long have you been here today?
I came in quite late, to be fair. I came in at 12 midday.
So, what?
About 11 hours.
11 hours.
11 hours.
So it's not bad, right? 11 hours and he has to look this energetic and wide-eyed and brainy.
Yeah, I feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean,
but
plus when it wears off, we crash and make sure you're in your bed when you do it.
yeah, I got to drive back and hopefully not crash. Daniel Susari, have fun, have BAM. That man. And that brings us perfectly on because Daniel Susari, with that, I've just decided he's been promoted to Apex Racing Team. He is officially an Apex Racing Team driver, Daniel 77. That's why he's here. Not for the chat about sim racing news, because this is the section about everything that's going on in Apex Racing.
He was here last week in chat.
Okay, to be fair. I mean, who am I kidding?
But yeah, let's
Daniel's
get
a great guy.
congratulations to him in chat as well. That's Daniel Zivizabo in chat, who has been promoted from the Apex Racing Academy team to the Apex Racing team, from
Yes.
green to blue.
He's already been racing for Apex in the IO1
Yep.
World Championship and been doing very well in it as well. I think he got third place on debut back at Spa and still running pretty well in it. So yeah, congratulations, Daniel. I think there might be one or two other promotions coming in the next week or so.
But
So
me. Are
I
you,
thought
are you leaking?
I thought I was.
No. You're hiding, aren't you?
No. I'm going to be promoted.
Oh.
I've got Pesk next year.
Starting to call you sir now.
Luke McKern's going to give me his spots.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
That's how it works now. Is that yeah. Maybe you could get promoted. Come on, if you get to 8K, then
Oh,
they're
I'll
gonna
just get
have
on
to,
that. I'll just
yeah,
get on
just
that.
get to 8K.
No, Kevin did give me a number
Okay. Yeah.
in Munich, but it's certain happening.
Let us know if you think David should be representing us on the biggest stage. Maybe ESR R1. We potentially might have a slot available at the end of the. Well, we definitely will have a slot available for the final 2 rounds. So, you know,
I've got
get on
this.
Rensport, and you might be racing against Crim6 and everyone else in ESR.
I gave Crimsic coaching.
Yeah?
Seriously, straight up. I taught him the Ferrari GT3 on his stream, my stream. He invited me, so I gave him a few lessons, and then he went straight to ESL R1 as his first competition. What can I say? I'm 1 for 1.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Point scorer, Crim6 there in ESR R1. He's done a very good job, to be fair to the guy.
He has.
In his first season of sim racing. But yeah, Dane Suisabe up into the team. And of course, he was part of the academy, and that's where Daniel has proved himself. Academy sign-ups are open for Apex Racing Academy. So if you want to join the academy team, and this is the way that Jimmy Fluke got into the team, how Pete Spayman got into the team, how Kevin S. Jr. got into the team. I'm sure about Johan, but many others as well have gone through Apex Racing Academy, learnt through tips from Apex Racing team, the permanent drivers, sort of worked with other academy drivers as well in order to become top level drivers with 10K iracing and earning a professional living from sim racing. If you want to do that, go to
Easy. Just fill out a form.
fill out a form.
Bam.
Then there'll be some trials where we'll put you through your paces, and
You have to beat me.
have to beat David. If you beat David, then
It means
you're
nothing.
through.
And then you go to the real
If
trials.
you lose to David, then you should be ashamed, and you will be questioned. Why have you wasted our time here? And
Thank you.
and yeah, you can do that. So if you go to Apex, I'm not actually sure 100% what the
I
details
think
are.
it's on the AC website.
I think it's on the Apex Racing AC website that you can apply. So we do recommend doing that.
Yeah, I see a few names in chat who are fast. Apply.
Yeah.
They can say no. I might be able to change the no to a yes in the office. They might not notice, and you're in.
Yeah.
They do say it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
I mean, you got into the academy, right?
Oh,
So,
damn, mate.
like, it's not exactly an elite club, is it? So,
Ouch.
I don't know you. Sorry, I must apologise. It's getting late.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
Ouch. I am the lowest. Well, no, there are some other 5Ks. I didn't know that until I got chatting to the academy. But yeah, thank you. I am reminded. People ask me on my stream, why don't you drive in the big events?
Yeah.
And I'll go, oh, it's just one issue. It's only a small one. I'm too slow.
Yeah.
But I'll get there. 6K this year.
Yeah.
I want to, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that'll happen. So do sign up to that. There's details either on apexracingac.com or on the Apex Racing Academy social media platforms where there are instructions. Yes, sorry. I'm just seeing the chat. It's very distracting. Yeah, a few people congratulating Danny. Thanks, Solly, for congratulating. And yeah, bam, everyone. Have fun. Have bam. Yeah, David's become Rallycross ART driver.
Yeah.
Have you done Rallycross?
No.
No.
I'm good on dirt rally.
We're really good on Rallycross as well. Like, of course, we've won the last 2 championships with
Yeah.
Johan and John. So
No, don't put me in it.
maybe you could become the third
No.
champion. ART chess division.
Yes.
Are they saying that you're? Oh yeah, of course you
Ian-
have stream chess. And that's you say.
Yeah, me and Daniel actually play
yeah?
a lot. He's actually sneaky. He's actually really good at chess.
Okay, yeah.
Our games have been brilliant. He may have won most of them, but
Yeah.
And I was smack talking him. I was like, mate, this isn't sim racing. Like, I know you're good, and everyone looks up to you, but chess is my world. And then he joined the match, and I realised he's quite high rated, and then he proceeded to beat me on my stream.
Wow. Anything you could beat him at? You think?
Chess, I'm going to beat him.
Oh, you will beat him at chess.
I'm-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's seen it, mate. I am grinding. I am learning.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I saw the fear. Last game we played, mate, he played with a different demeanour.
Yeah.
Fear. That was fear.
Danny Lee saying, Mark Custer's saying that he's going to sign up today. Do
Good.
it. I think he may be being sarcastic, but go for it, Mark.
Mark's who I drive with 90% of the time in my team events. So he got
Okay,
third
yeah.
at Petit Le Mans.
I mean, you should do it, Mark.
That's it. You just put
Go
that in
for
the
it.
application. Bam.
You
You should write BAM. Actually, it's good for the marketing, and that will help you in.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Bam.
how did Danny get into the main team? So sorry, just loves these drinks. Dane Lee saying, I put up a video about Clubsport DD earlier, and thanks for bribing ADAC Expo to lock up all the other creators in a cupboard. It's still the only one on YouTube.
Oh, nice, Danny. Oh, hi, Danny. I just realized which Danny is. Danny Lee.
So I guess Danny is at the ADAC Sim Racing Expo this year, I guess.
Or he's mentioning that they haven't released any content on the wheel they're seeing there. Like, as in,
okay,
they're away
sure.
at an event, he's sat at home
Oh,
and
yeah,
able to
sure,
put out
yeah.
videos for an announcement that dropped today. I think it was today.
Nice one. So yeah, well done, Daniel, on getting quick from that. Bruno Pelny, do you speak French? No, unfortunately. I did do it at GCSE.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Au revoir.
That's it. So we've tried. Je m'appelle David.
No, I was going to say what my age is, but I can't remember, unfortunately.
Wait, I win.
Yeah, you're well done.
See?
Croissant. Okay.
I think you just said an English word with a French accent there.
Croissant?
Yeah.
Don't take this away from me. So, in terms of AR2 results this week, we'll go in a random order. First one, Grand Prix Turn Racing iRacing Series at Zandvoort. Manuel Kubo was the highest placed finisher with a 7th place. Then it was JV, Gail Valero with a 10th place, and Daniel Sivisabu with a 13th. At the moment in the standings, and annoying that these standings are a bit annoying because they don't have the team names on them, but you can see the points as it stands. Currently Lemonek at the top. Only one driver's got multiple wins, that's Liebiger, but he's all the way down there in 6th place as it stands. And there is Daniel up there in 11th place, JV in 7th, and Ben in 8th.
Ben's Apex as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Manel in 13th, Michael Yanni in 15th. One of them's going to get a win this season, and dare I say, still JV and Ben have got a chance at maybe winning the overall championship. So do not rule that one out. That's on Thursdays. Do always keep tuned in on that. Petit Le Mans, not a great day for Apex because I think really, especially after last year when I think we won the GT3s and finished 2nd in LMP2, like really anything under a win. And I think the guys were going to be a little bit frustrated. And we did get some decent results. Stan Delon, or Deslanders as everyone knows him, but it is meant to be pronounced Delon apparently, is he raced with Maxence Gordina and he got 2nd place in LMP2, which was a good effort. Parker White,
They did get the pole. Them two.
They did get the pole.
I believe so, yeah.
It was front row lockout, wasn't it? As well,
not GTD. I think.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay. We got the LMDH pole and 2nd. I think that's where the biggest frustration comes from, right? The prep, everything, the setup, the strategy, everything was right. It's just not everything came together on race day during the race.
So there are the results. The 299 was in 4th position. We had a 5th, we had a 6th, we had a 2nd. That 1st position was in 2nd splits for the 97. That was Parker White and co, who was taking part in that. So yeah, a little bit of a disappointing one because I think we had front row of the grid, a pole position, and a 4th and a 5th on the grid, and in the end we didn't quite work our way. But I mean that's Petit. It's a very action-packed special event all the time.
You didn't part of this pleb got podium in split 4. No, I wasn't under ARA colours because I really didn't want to take out another team in wearing the flag.
You could have joined the 2nd split team, to be fair. You would have probably stayed in the 2nd split and could have.
I would have loved to, but this was my first endurance in the car. Like I'm still learning the car. There was a lot for me to. I handled the quali and the start, and I will admit, on the start of the race, I was getting tunnel vision.
Yeah.
My concentration levels aren't. I'm not saying I don't usually concentrate, but I've been doing this for so many years. I'm usually a much more relaxed state. But driving the GTP, I was thinking about 1,000 things per corner, and I had to slowly relax.
Someone had to bring it up, eh?
Yeah.
So
Who was my spotter, actually? Can we just get that fact checked?
there's
Who
some
was
finger
spotting?
pointing right now.
Yeah.
David, I think, really let his whole team down and didn't box. Mark Custers is being blamed for not telling him to box.
Correct.
And generally, it's as the Ferrari strategy team took over for that moment because you would have won if it weren't for that one. But
There was a couple of things that impacted it, but yeah, we should have and could have won. Yep, should have won.
Yeah,
but the moment we finally all got relaxed and calm, maybe 7 hours into the race, and everyone's starting to relax and feeling like we've got this, was when we got talking the most, and the mistake happened.
Yeah, easy to do. And
Easy
frankly,
to do.
to just finish Petit Le Mans is tough because I think probably tougher than I'd say it's tougher than Le Mans. I'd say it's probably tougher than Daytona as well.
There's always something to do at Petit Le Mans.
Yeah.
You never have a clean lap where
No.
you're just doing the thing you practice. There's always someone on the grass. There's an LMP2 and a GT3 at the next corner. And then you've got multiple traffic. You've got people overtaking in front of you. It's even pitting is hard because we had a lap where Mark was going to pit and he just came on the radio. Can't pit. Like I can't get over, so I'll come in the lap. Like, it's stuff like that. It's Petit Le Mans. Even pit entry is scary enough. In a GTP, it's a roller coaster mixed with a 90-degree turn while you're trying not to lock.
Yeah, and trying not to speed. So yeah, it's a tough event, and anyone who got to the finish, congratulations on doing that. British F4 was held at Snetterton. Luke McCowan managed to get a much better result this time. He managed to get a third and a first, which is his best meeting so far of the season. Peter Bayman still leads the championship. This is for the Stormforce Racing ART team. And so Pete still leads the way in that championship, 17 points ahead of Matt Karana. Apologies, Matt. It's one of those names where I've said it in my head a lot of times, and then my lips have tried to pronounce it, and they've flopped their lines. Here are the championship standings at the moment, and you can see, Pete with a decent advantage. Corby, of course, races downstairs, and he's in a solid third, and Luke, after that strong results, up to fourth, and he could still defend his title. Of course, won the Drivers' Championship last year. The good news for us is how well we are doing in the teams. Look at that, 62 points. Way ahead. We missed out so narrowly on the teams last year, and we were quite annoyed because it was such a it's a chaotic series, and when it came down to the last round, it was a lottery of if we were going to be able to take it or not. We had both the team car and the academy team doing really well, and unfortunately, neither of them managed to clinch it. But
so remind me, Gordy's just being essentially loaned out because you're only allowed this year one team entry, right? You can't just put in as many teams as you want this year.
I think I think Gordy, organised that himself.
Okay.
Although Stan as well also is racing for the same team. Good that Stan got points as well.
Yeah,
of
for
course,
sure.
Another Apex Racing team driver. But yeah, they're both racing for JHR by 29 Esports. So we're still very much rooting for them, even though they are not Apex affiliated for this series.
The craziest thing about this race, it's an esport event, but they do a reverse grid. I find, especially in an F4 at these small tracks, I find it, man, it's brilliant content.
Yeah. Oh, I think more of that. We need more chaos in sim racing.
What, Petit Le Mans after halfway, you bring them into the pit and reverse grid it, yeah? That would be fun.
Yeah. I have an aggregate. Would that be fun? I don't know. Yeah. So good work from Stormforce Racing ART for getting a good haul of points in what has been a very good start to the season. It's not done yet, but Pete and Luke with a very good chance at taking the spoils. And a bit of money for them both as well, which is what they deserve. In PESC, of course, we're still in the Contenders Series. Luke McCowan, he's just had a fantastic week, hasn't he? P1 and P3 in this as well.
Yeah, he's an animal.
So, up there. And, that's... Oh, sorry. I didn't change it around. They are the results. Quinton with good points as well. He's been banging the top 10s for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Michael with a disappointing race 2. Parker with a slightly worse race, but that's another one with a reverse grid. If you're not in the top 8 in the sprint, then it's very tricky to come back in the feature.
Yeah, cool. 'Cause the people in front of you, especially P10, the positions in front of you are the fastest 2 from the previous race, which can be especially awkward. No, yeah, the guys are doing great. We're going to have, I want to say, record-breaking amounts in PESC as a team. Surely this is going to be the record.
Yes, I think we've already got Johan if he takes part, Sanchez, and Salva, and then you can see on this we've got Luke who's there, Parker who's there, Quinton who's there, Michael who's just about there. So that'll be 7, I think.
7 drivers.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Kev and Jamie would be there if it wasn't for R1.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie, that was annoying with Jamie. He finished 16th, which was 1 place away from keeping his license, which was frustrating.
Yeah. But obviously he finished 16th because he was taking on both PESC and R1, which,
I mean, his season in ESL R1 this season demonstrates how much he was losing on ESL R1, so naturally he was losing a lot on PESC as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Some other names as well we weren't affiliated with. It was good to see Bryn getting back in there. He was in there last season. Oscar Pye, who's taken part in Apex Racing Leagues before. You were racing him in the GT3s.
Yeah,
at the start of the year.
Oscar's a fast guy.
He's like 12, I think, as well. So he's very.
So
very
I'm a few years older then.
Yeah, just what was it, like 4 or 5
Yeah, sure.
years or so?
Yeah.
And Bobby Zelensky in there. Some big names. Really big names.
Josh,
getting back
he's
in there.
Redline, right? Josh Thompson.
Yeah. I'm surprised that, and of course Chris Lullum as well is Redline. I don't know why Chris isn't up there. I think he won. Not sure if he was in the Verstappen car, which narrowly missed out on Virtual Le Mans earlier this year.
He had the disconnect from the Vodafone issue, the outage that knocked out everyone. Mark might remember if he's still in chat, but we were doing a endurance race where 5 teams just all their drivers vanished. Well, sorry, the car vanished, or one of their teammates vanished, and sometimes it was just a teammate of not the man driving, so they're fine. But then the guy comes back in, and the disconnect would keep happening. And at this time, Ludham was doing PESC, so that cost him dear. And I think he was leading.
Yeah.
I think he was leading when he got pulled.
Mark Custer saying Luke leading with not a single lap in the lead. What's Chad? Didn't he win though the other day? Oops. Oh no, hang on. I'm not showing my screen at the moment. Did he not win? Luke won a race though. I'm not exactly
first and
sure.
third, I think.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, there you go. We was doing the 24 Le Mans.
Oh right, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's PESC.
Perhaps the laps led only show the non-reverse. No, PESC doesn't have a PESC. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was from here.
Oh yeah.
Laps led 0.
Yeah, that's just wrong, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. There you go. Sorry. Oh, sorry, Mark. I wasn't sure what you were referencing to there because it's obviously not the case. But
so maybe
racing saying this.
Has he won a first race or only a second?
Oh yeah. Because this is just imported straight out because we've got. Actually, no, the names look all right on this, but on the other one we had like the wrong driver names. We had like 3s at the end of the names, so it's just imported straight from iRacing. And so because it's a feature thing, this is just the feature results.
Yeah.
And so that's why Luke's got no wins, because it's only counting the feature results. Yeah. Come on, iRacing. Come on. These are the points. You got to be getting it right. We run our own leagues, and it's really quite simple to get right. So teams on there, please. And also actually representative results would be.
And while you're there fixing things, just add our logo to the IMSA Esports thing. Thank you. As we're champions.
We would appreciate that.
Yes, while you're there.
That's pretty much everything that's gone on with Apex Racing Team. Let's have a look at what's happened with Apex Racing TV. Hopefully Bruno Belny is still with us because we've got a moment to share of him getting very animated.
I think I've seen this.
This is funny from Bruno. Let's see if we can share it.
Maximize that. Here we go.
So this was in the Ricmotech World Challenge. Sorry, it's still just buffering on my screen. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. So this is Bruno driving along. He's got a motion rig, does Bruno. And then I think it's in a couple of corners. Oh no, sorry, the resolution's very poor. We'll try to get this working again. Here we go. Now you can see Bruno.
Okay.
I think it's here that he gets a penalty. And he's not a happy guy.
And he makes it visible in a few seconds.
So yeah, hopefully Bruno, yeah, he's not happy with that one. And yeah, the motion rig, yeah, great stuff. And that's why there we go. He's not happy there. This is why we like webcams. We like to see reactions from drivers.
Yeah,
So,
there's a link in the ARL Discord.
Yes, and that should be shared to everyone in your respective series as well. So that was Vic Motec, and I'm sure they've shared those details. So if you don't usually share your camera, and of course, apologies to people who are listening on the audio medium on podcasts, because this is available on Spotify and iTunes and such. Basically, Bruno Bellany in a motion rig, getting very animated when he gets a penalty. It's good stuff. Go watch it on the YouTube recording. Few other moments. Radicals. This was a brilliant battle of just side-by-side radical action for
Not sure I've seen this one.
about a lap, pretty much. I might try to turn down the volume a little bit. Hopefully that's not coming over our voices too much. But yeah, this just goes on and on. Ming versus Medeo for the race lead at Alton Park, and this is goes racing as you can see.
How are the radicals nowadays? I haven't driven these in a long time.
Have you driven the SR10?
No, oh, no, not much.
They made some changes at the start of this season. I think it's a bit more popular now.
Okay, I heard there's been some updates to it. I might have to try this again.
And yeah, so Medeo trying to hold on, and they've already been alongside for half a lap. And,
Wow, look at this.
Keep going at it. Good, respectful racing. Kike, I used to commentate on this series for probably about a year straight. I probably commentated on about 50 odd of these races. And Kike always narrowly missed out on race wins. But he's an absolute veteran of this car. Medeo, not a driver who I'm so familiar with. But good to see some Argentinian representation. And into Cascades.
Yeah, I need
Still
to drive these
alongside.
again. Look at this.
And finally, Medeo
track.
manages to get ahead.
This is what I used to drive. One of the most popular cars I drove in rFactor back in the day. I love the radicals.
And then there's a sight off for Ming, and this is very much where the battle ends. But you all want to see the rejoin, and it was all right. It was an all right rejoin. And then later on in the race, we had this second moment, which was just an absolute send. Hopefully it will come up in a moment if I've got the right thing. Here we go. This is the one.
Let's see this.
So Kike's trying to go for the win here. And he's just sent it.
Oh.
There is a bit of contact there, and he doesn't make the corner. So that was how that race ended. But I appreciate the effort. It's just a really ambitious move there from Kike.
So for the people that couldn't see that, that was quite the send. He broke, what, 50 meters too late?
Yeah.
Excitement took over.
Do you prefer that layout of Alton Park, or do you like to have the chicane at the end there?
I hate alternates. There is no alternate I prefer. There is one layout. Sorry.
So it is. So you prefer the chicane?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. I just don't like alternates. I don't think there's a single alternate I prefer.
Let us know in chat if there is any.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Thomas is saying no sound.
Oh, okay. Maybe I appreciate that feedback, because I'll just turn it up next time. It was very quiet before. And then the final moment, and this sort of ties into Apex Racing League as well, was this very nice battle in the Super Formula. And this was a race-long battle. You got Lafaro in the lead. Oh man, my laptop's really struggling. What's going on? I'll turn down the connection. Oh man, it's already on also. What's going on? But this is in slow motion of Lafaro trying to hold on. This battle was going on for like 19 straight laps, and Alacon eventually gets past. Here we go.
Let's see. I do want to love these cars. I just don't have the time to get good. Ooh. Is this Motegi?
Yes, it is.
I haven't driven Motegi in a lifetime. Missed this track.
I don't think it's even on the real life Super Formula calendar. I think it was on there for like a season and they got rid of it. And Alarcon managed to get past. I mean, it's a pretty good move there, but when you bring into context that you tried that move about 100 odd times for the first 19 laps and it just never worked out for him, it was a really good effort from him. Yeah, we also had, and then later on, he had to do it all over again because we had the pit stops. And that meant that Lafar was able to get back ahead, and Alarcon had to do it all over again in a very similar style.
It's a good track for this car, for sure. Yeah, these cars look like they're going to be very popular, I think. I honestly do.
And he just manages to go on the outside, gets the inside for the next corner, slightly warmed up tyres. And yeah, Marcus Alarcon right there was able to take the lead in his first ever Apex Racing League event, and went on to win the race. So that is 2 races in for that championship out of 11. You can still sign up at apexracingleague.com and get yourself a free Apex Racing Academy subscription just for doing so. And yeah, that was pretty much how it finished. That was a good race. Chris Rosenkrantz started from the pits, was about 15 seconds behind within 3 laps, and then finished 5 seconds off the lead. So Chris Rosenkrantz very much on it. For a low I-rated driver, he is a weapon in the Super Formula cars.
Yep, for sure.
And that's pretty much it for those clips. If there are any future clips that you want to send in, do let us know.
We should set up a way of chat contacting us after the stream if they've got any ideas for things they want covered in future weeks. We should put something together. I think it's a good idea for just, yeah, we're always open to ideas on things to cover. People want our opinions and everything. That'll be great. We can get that prepared for future weeks. That's something we can look.
Daniel Suso saying no chicane Alton is the best. I agree. I really agree with Daniel. I like this guy.
We will play chess to settle that, Daniel. Winner takes all.
Yeah, Lawson crashed here in real life. Apologies. So no, it is in the real life schedule. Is there was at least one circuit which was like added for like in 2006. Did 1 year and then left. But clearly, Motegi was not that circuit. I'm clearly thinking of something
I like Motegi. It was worth learning, but honestly, I can't remember the last time IMSA, VRS, or any of the major series I drive went there.
No, it's really. It used to be visited a lot. This might even be before you were on iRacing, but it was visited a lot when it was the only night race. Like it was the only track with night, basically.
Oh, I remember.
Because it has floodlights.
So no, I probably wasn't on iRacing because I remember watching probably Jimmy Broadbent when it was the day-night cycle had just been added.
Sure, yeah.
And my first thought was, wait, there's a sim out there that doesn't know how to turn down the gamma.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. You're not asking a lot.
I was so glad I joined iRacing when I did because there's so much. And no disrespect, though. There's so much privilege from you people who joined. Who joined iRacing in 2020. It's like, oh, the servers aren't working. Oh, there's not these features. 2016, it was caveman era right there, where we had nothing. We had nothing. We didn't have dynamic track or anything.
Yeah.
And instead, we were just whenever a special event went slightly right, whenever you could get on the grid for a special event, it was thought as the best thing ever. iRacing is such a much more polished platform than it's.
I've followed it from streamers and all that on the outside, and yeah, because I was more into casual and rFactor 2, AC, things like that. But yeah, the day I started on iRacing, I never stopped.
I also want to show what the schedule is for Apex Racing TV is over the next few days. I do know for a fact that, oh dear, I'm really fluffing my lines here. We have Weekend Warriors, both the Spec Racer Ford and the Formula Ford on Sunday. Do tune in for that. That's an evening worth of racing. We've also got Ricmatech World Challenge, round 4 from Le Mans. That is on Tuesday, very early morning,
Nice.
I believe. And there's going to be a few more as well, because we'll be back next week. We've also got Radicals next week. That'll be week 5 of the official series. We're going to have Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. That'll be from Le Mans as well. And we'll also have, I think, the S1 Championship return for another round. That was at Bathurst last week. I think that's going to return. That's had some very good racing in GT3 race action so far. So, yeah, do tune in for all of that on Apex Racing TV. Make sure to subscribe and, yeah, turn on your notifications so you know whenever we go live.
Le Mans 75 minutes next week as well, right?
It is, yeah, in AOL Prototypes, yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to have less of a break between this and the podcast. So we'll be here next week.
Yes.
Drinking lots of these.
Man, we might need more of them. I've only drunk half of this, and
I've drunk 1.5 of that.
What time did you wake up?
Early.
Okay.
7:45.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah. I think I wake up at 10:30. I'm fine.
17?
I'm just getting to the point now where I'm awake. This is my peak performance right now. Once again, thanks to Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this. And if you go to apexracingac.com, you can use the code LATEAPEX, no spaces, to get 3 months free. Big thanks to them. And of course, yeah, big thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Anything that you want to mention, David?
No, yeah, really enjoying this series. We'll be back for this next week. We're going to just keep an eye on everything that's happening, changing. It won't always be new games. There might be controversial subjects to discuss, big events to discuss. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And yeah, make sure you check out iTunes, our Spotify, if you want to watch us while you're listening over on YouTube. But yeah, thanks. Loving the series.
Yeah, and you know, share it on social media. We'll post like clips on Apex Racing TV, so share it and tell your friends about how there's these really cool people who are chatting about sim racing. And yeah, we would really appreciate that. But that is pretty much it for us. So thank you for tuning in. And well, we'll be back next week for another episode of The Late Apex. But for now, from myself and from David, we'll say goodbye and we'll
Ciao,
see
ciao.
you next time.